Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube video. I'm your host, Spidercides, and for today's video, I'm going to be going in depth on my latest design on Bionicle. It's the Tahu character, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too familiar with the lore and everything behind that, but this was recommended in my DMs a number of times now, so I wanted to do my best, and it seems like we got a lot of good feedback on Twitter, TikTok, and overall on my YouTube shorts. So thank you so much for supporting me and supporting that design. So I wanted to use this video to really go in depth into why I chose the certain pieces and the shaders, and then give you some options in case you don't have these pieces in your inventory. So without further ado, we will begin, but if it's your first time here, stick to the end of the video. Let me know what you think. I do a lot of these now every single week to give you more of a look behind the scenes and give you an understanding why I did the design the way I did. Now, hit that like or dislike button. Be sure to subscribe for more content and do all that jazz on my social media with Twitter and TikTok. You know what to do. Now, let's get started. When it comes to the helmet itself, I went with the Wildwood helmet, and it wasn't easy. I'm going to be quite honest when it came to the helmet, because I was trying to find something that was like square shaped, so to speak, but something that actually blended well with the other pieces. I didn't want a helmet that was too big or too small. For example, another alternative, it would be this one. I'm not even going to try to say this mask, but you could use this one here, and it looks good. And I think it works, but I felt like it was a little too thin. Now, if we went with, let's say, this helmet, I think it does a great job as well. But I don't know, something about this neck piece that I used for the chest, like the combination here, it just makes the head look even smaller. So I wanted something to balance, which is why I went with this style. Now, let's say you went with the other piece and you wanted to change that chest piece to an alternative. Well, you could go with the alloy plate. This one here actually blends well now, and now you can see what I mean, that having a helmet, depending on its size, can differ and can change the look and appeal to it. So everything comes into play. I try to find an armor piece that works, the shader, and making sure that all these pieces actually correlate with one another. So this could be an option as well for the chest piece. So you could go with this style or this one. There wasn't really any other piece when I was going through it that would work. I really like the Legacy's oath plate, but the issue was obviously this hologram that's on the front. If it wasn't there, I think it would be almost perfect. So I ended up sticking with the Wrath. For the gauntlets, we went with the Cabbers. This is one of my favorites just because it's rounded over here and then kind of looks very robotic. It seems to work well with the other pieces and blends. So if we were to go back to my regular helmet, you could change, let's say you want to change the arm piece for a different one. Another option would be the hard case brawlers. This one works because it still looks thin, because the Bionicle characters are the Tahu character anyways was very thin and very robotic, so I was trying to like replicate that to the best of my ability. So this could be another arm piece that you can go for, which I'm sure everyone has, to be quite honest. Now for the leg armor, I went with the Siege Break. This one just looks great. It in my opinion, it literally is the definition of Bionicle. Now, if you don't have this, you could switch things up a little bit. You could go with the phenotype. I think these work well. Obviously, you're going to have to change the shader. So you're not going to use the camo. You would have to use safety first. And I think that still works well. And that will blend with the mark that I put at the top. Or another option, let's take a look here. You know what? You could also use the Righteous Greaves. This could be another option. It looks robotic. It's separated. And if we were to look from the outside, I think it can work. It's not my favorite. But if you wanted to go maybe the phenotype, I think that would work well with the other pieces here. Let's put everything back to how it was. Now for the mark, honestly, use whatever you want. I just went with this one here literally because of the belt. That's the only reason. I always choose the mark based on the belt design, and then I try to see if that works. So obviously this is not going to work. These just take too much out of the actual look of the character, and I hate how a lot of Titans have this, like, it's all these different pieces that are coming out of the belt area. Like, I don't want this cloth here. I don't want this material in front. So I went with the Moon Fang because it looks, it's all these right angles, sharp edges all throughout, and it blends well with the overall theme that I was going for. I wish you could change the color of the font here. I wish it wouldn't be white. I wish it could actually change to orange, but it's fine. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't really distract your eyes from the design. So I hope you like that overall, that explanation of why I went with the certain pieces here. I think that gives you a better understanding. Now, in terms of the shaders, obviously with Tahu, it's very red at the top and then orange at the bottom. So I went with the new monarchy succession for the top 3 pieces. You could switch things up a little bit. I believe the Midnight Smith could be an option as well, as you can see here. I just wanted to try to find something that was more gold, because I wanted it to blend well with the actual character, the image that I was replicating. But again, it's up to you. There's not too many red and like yellow shaders in the game that can actually replicate that. There is another one, if we take a look here, there was the House of Marin that could work, but I wasn't a fan of this like effect. I don't know about you, I could be wrong, maybe it's just me, but I just didn't like that effect that was happening. I know it's hard to see from afar, but if you look really closely, you can see it if you pay attention. So that kind of bothered me for whatever reason. And then I know there's one other shader. I think it was this one here, but no, it wasn't that one. It was this one here, the New Monarchy Regalia. This one could work. I just felt like the red was a little bit too dark, and I wanted something really, really bright for the character. So plenty of options there. When it came for the light piece, I went with the camo. It's literally the only shader that would blend with the safety first shader on the mark. Now this one works. There wasn't any other one, but if you were to change the light piece to one of the other examples like the phenotype, obviously now you're gonna have to change the shader itself. And then in this case, you could go for the safety first shader. So I'll put that right here. So here's an example. And then again, it's totally up to you. There's so many different Bionicle characters. You can pretty much follow the recommendations with the armor pieces that I chose and essentially switch the colors, right? And I know there's just different characters in general. So, you know, see what you like. Show me, you know, on Twitter or on TikTok or wherever, you know, or even on my Discord. Let me know your Bionicle designs. Let me know which one you want to see next. I've been getting a few recommendations now because people like this overall design. So I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to promise anything, but it's definitely in my list of characters to do. So if you want to see more Bionicle characters, just leave it in the comments below, and I'm going to literally put it on a notepad of mine and work down the list, and I want to make you guys proud. Now, thank you so much for watching, and if you've stuck to the end, it really means a lot to me. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the fashion contest that I just launched. This is my second one, and you have a chance to win the Follow the Light emblem. So it's one of the most popular emblems that people have been trying to get. So if you want it, take a crack at it. It's fun to do, you know, Transmog designs, and watch the video in the link below so that way you know how to enter. Now, thanks again for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, dislike, all that good stuff. You know what to do. Thanks again, and as always, I'll see you next time.